Hey guys, welcome to another campaign of HOI4, this time playing with the Kaiserreich mod. And yeah, so concept for this campaign, we're playing as the United States, and we've kind of put it up to you guys to decide where we're going to go with the first election. The way the US works at the moment is we have a few different political options to chase our way down. We can try and get someone in power using the election, or we can go for a military junta and kind of take over the reins that way. Pretty much all of the options will trigger a civil war, and we'll have the combined syndicates up here. We'll have the America First, and then California will split off. And we kind of get a few different options of who we're going to play when that happens. Now I've put that up to you guys. There is a poll currently active, which can be found here if you're watching this on the stream. If you're not, this is what it looks like so far. I know AUS and the AFP are essentially the same result, but we're going to be counting those votes together. We currently have a pretty solid lead for the CSA. So we're going to see what we end up with when the election actually wraps up. So let's bump speed up to 5. Let's get our initial research set up. A lot of the tech trees play out the same, so it's the same usual suspects. Let's grab some better weapons. America starts with very few factories. We have, well, across the board, there's 72 civ factories, 7 military factories, but that's going to get divided up as all the civil wars fire. So we're pretty much just going to be needing to make lots of guns for now. I'm just going to make convoys, because why not? Don't care about divisions, don't care about our unassigned divisions. So with CSA in the lead so far, we will be switching through events to a rebellion up, well, one of the Civil War factions, I guess, up here. Once that happens, we won't have access to any of these troops, any of this navy. We'll get a whole bunch of troops from event. Yeah, so that about wraps up the setup. Now let's start this playing out. Kaiserreich to Russia with love, excellent. Thank you, Kaiserreich team, great job. Let's get told about major events. We don't really care about everything around the world, but major stuff. If you're not familiar with Kaiserreich, there's a couple different things going on. We have a party popularity and party, government stability. So stability goes up and down based on your political power, and your political power is kind of a thermometer of how well your nation's doing politically. Party popularity determines how much political power we gain, and that is based on the percentage of our current leading ideology that's running the nation. There's a bunch of new ministers, they've changed some of the companies around. There's a lot more complexity to it. United States stands in 1936 in crisis. US was able to escape the First Weltkrieg, so the alt history of Kaiserreich is Germany wins World War I and throws the world into all sorts of different chaos. Lots of revolutionaries, lots of everything going nuts. Which allowed its prosperity to continue well into the 1920s. However, the victory by the German Empire and the French and the later British revolutions would lead to the Wall Street crash of 1925. So the Great Depression still happens, to some extent. This sent the US into the Great Depression and allowed the Berlin stock market to take its place in the world. The election of Herbert Hoover in 1928 showed promise of fixing America, however Hoover was unable to fix the problems of the Depression. This has fueled the rise of radical parties in America from the combined syndicates on the far left and the American First Party on the far right. The fact that Hoover won re-election by the House of Representatives in 1932 and the fact that the Great Depression isn't over means that the problems do not look to be going away soon. Many throughout the country fear that disaster will happen should one of the extreme parties come into power or nothing is done to solve the depression. We're not going to be reading all the events, just gives a bit of history as we go in. And because CSA is leading, we're going to start building factories. Oh no, that's not the CSA land. We're going to start building factories in places that are going to go to the CSA, which is pretty much this land here. This stuff splits off to New England with the support of Canada. Yeah, let's resume. Profits from legation cities. So we're getting some bonus factory output and a little bit of political power from some of these Chinese states. Legation cities, Ningbo, I think, yeah, a few little places. Hong Kong. I'm not completely familiar with the whole lore behind Kaiserreich, so I'll do my best, but there's plenty of information on their wiki and other places if you're wanting to learn further into it. Right, because our stability went up a little bit, we've gone from very low to low, so that's buffing our production a little bit. Black Monday has occurred, which is a stock market crash. Let's slow this down a bit, it's getting a little choppy. While that runs, let's have a look at our thing. So we've been hit by the Great Depression now. We've got a bunch of political stuff, depending who we go with. A bunch of army stuff. Army, Navy, Air Force. These trees are absolutely enormous in Kaiserreich. We got the American war economy for when the Civil War breaks out. Okay, let's pause this. We've got Vice President Curtis has recovered from being sick. World premiere of the Modern Times. Charlie Chaplin's new movie's gone off. Wasn't well taken apparently. Battle of the Overpass. In Detroit, Michigan, automotive capital of the world. Some people doing some things. Blah de blah blah. We lose some political power. I'm not too fussed about the events. Restructuring America, so once the Civil War's over we get to rebuild. But as we'll see once we split off later, each of the different war states has its own political tree. So we don't start with any options, but we'll see options later. So how is everyone doing today? Syndicates are still in the lead. '100th anniversary of the Battle of the Alamo. A bit of political power for us. Welcome to stream, Blurry Ghosty. First International Congress, so the communes are getting together. We've got a St. Patrick's Day flood. They can help themselves. We're not going to be playing as the US, so I don't care if stability gets thrown to shit. Oswald Mosley elected as chairman of the TUC. Cool. Alright, we're starting to get some research in. Oh no, stability has fallen again. So because we were still hanging below 200, it's bumped us back down in stability. Indian Citizenship Act. Nah, we don't want the political power. No idea, big bully. People do interesting things. Also, welcome to the stream. Mongolia's doing things. Curious to see what is going to happen internationally. Road to war. There seems to be a lot of flexibility over what the AI are going to do. So the world never really plays out the same twice. Alright, we got our guns, basic machine tools. We're going to go with dispersed industry because that'll give us early little bumps to new factories getting chucked into lines because of the base production efficiency. So every new factory we build will go straight into having extra efficiency. There goes that gardener again. 1 second, guys. Noisy bastard. Alright, we want to buff the popularity of syndicalists and radical socialists, well, mainly syndicalists if we're going to be going CSA. Might give us a few more troops once this rebellion fires. Hello from France, I love Hotzwein, so I look. Welcome to stream, girlfriend. I love Hotzwein as well. It's probably one of my most played games over the past 6-12 months. Alrighty, the election isn't going to be too far away. Can we see when it is? No. Goddamn gardener. Great heatwave of 36. It's just not our year. It's very hot apparently. America enters a 5-way gangbang. Sure does. The death of Alexander Berkman. Anarcho-syndicalists, blah blah. Torch passes on to John Jack Reed. I think that's who we'll end up playing. Gone with the Wind has been published. Cool. We've got our construction one. Kind of want to pick fast techs because the more stuff. Once the Civil War happens, we get the tech of our overlord. Well, not our overlord, of the main nation. So it's good to have a few things to get us kick-started. Now, everyone in chat, make sure you voted in the poll. Edward VIII sends a letter to Hoover. Kings warned the president that in case of choosing the radicals, Canada and her allies will need to take drastic measures. Well, we sure will be choosing the radicals. Deutsche Mittelafrika has declared war on Portugal. So Deutsche Mittelafrika is kind of Germany's stolen colonies from the Allies in World War One. Alright, we can't be too far off this election firing. I'm gonna move planes into our airport in the hope that they switch to us. Back to very low stability because we're above -200. The great heatwave is over. We still don't have any focuses available until the election starts firing. Let's have a quick look. If we're going with the CSA, yeah, we'll be abandoned if MacArthur seizes power, which generally happens in my couple test runs. Okay, so this is the first part of the election events, so last chances to get in on this. What have you been doing? Is this historical AI? Yeah, Kaiserreich doesn't have historical AI. Also, welcome to stream, Cartoon Player, and welcome to stream, Stuart. How you doing, man? Alright, let's have a look. Still CSA with the big lead. I was wanting to check. I was wanting to see how much we vaguely have sort of similar results to the ideology tree. So elections are going to go ahead. We don't want to invite the military in. Or do we? We don't want to get into power, then have him kick us out. So let's just fire at a meet. That'll change the part. Okay. Elections go ahead. We don't want to buff the AFP. Or military junta, whichever. Similar things. Alright. Election has happened. Stage 2 will happen in a few days. What are you saying no to, big bully? Come on, election. There we go. Oh, hold on, let's bring this back up. No new votes. Oh, we got 160. But still, CSA. 53 verse 45 verse 43 verse 19. So CSA it is. So CSA will be. Bumps up our popularity by 20%, puts us in charge, and now we can start doing some focuses. See if MacArthur throws us out. Alright, we got mountain infantry and radio, dispersed industry coming. That was a good, well timed. America first contests the election results. So that is these guys down here. Damn them. Now, do we want to change... we'll let the AI pick what they go for. I was just considering wasting some tech slots if we get booted out. Considered rigging your poll. Yeah, I know what you'd go for, Stuart. The red tide sweeps forth. Yes, it is beginning. We're gonna get booted out, so let's pick some silly techs. Or just go for the next... yeah, might as well start next year's ones. Up to average popularity, 42% and 6%. So that's good odds for us. Long has established the Minutemen, so he's ramping up to contest us. I was hoping we'd get one of these factories in, because we don't really get that many. We got 8 factories across the nation, 8 mill factories, I mean. Herbert Hoover criticises Reed. It's quite vocal after the election. We're going to form an alliance to curb us. Good luck with that. Merry Christmas everyone, 25th of December. Just rolling past. Long Southern Rally. Okay. He's starting to cause problems. We've been inaugurated. Good, good. Let's just keep going with this line. Actually, I don't care about that political power. Because they're going to fight the Civil War, so I don't really want these buffs. Violence in St. Louis. Send in a militia. Oh, we actually have factories working now. A very red Christmas. Exactly. So CSA is one, so what do you guys think of working our way towards forming the United Socialist States of America? Back to very low stability with our neg 500 political power. Man, we lost factories again. Check back next Christmas, even more red. Welcome to stream, Dark Ruffian. Thanks for coming by, don't see you very often. It's about time to call this an episode, so let's put a pause in here. Thanks guys for watching, hope you're enjoying. Like, subscribe, check out the links below the video. Next episode, Civil War should be firing, and we'll be going from there to claiming the rest of our states.